It's 2:30 p.m. on a Sunday, and I'm still in bed. And no, I'm not lazy. I'm actually stuck in bed because I've got a big pressure sore on my feet, on my heel, and so I'm forced to stay in bed and rest. So I'm a little bit frustrated, and I thought I would get in front of the camera and have a bit of a whinge. So, you're welcome. If you don't know about pressure sores, they're pretty much the most unexciting injury you can get. So, most people when they get an injury, they might, cut themselves, or fall over and break something, or, get into a fight, or something dramatic and glamorous, and a bit exciting like that. But with a pressure sore, it's literally an injury that happens when you've been sitting down for too long, and there's this constant pressure through your joints and onto a surface. So for me, it's been happening a bit lately, and it's been because I've been sitting in my wheelchair and my foot has been pushing into the foot plate of my wheelchair for quite some time, and the foam in the wheelchair is starting to break down, which means there's it's no longer as soft and comfortable as it used to be, and it's now putting lots of pressure on my foot. So again, most people get injuries from doing exciting things and having accidents like that, and I just get an injury from sitting down. So they can also be pretty severe. So pressure injuries can get quite bad, and I'm lucky in a way that I can kind of feel my legs and I know when things are happening. So I'm a bit better than most at actually realizing when I have a pressure injury. Some people who might not have sensation in their legs don't even know when it's happening, and so for those people it's a lot worse than my current one, although the current sore I've got on my foot is pretty painful, to be honest, and it means that I'm stuck in bed today resting. That's okay though, so I'll get over it and it will heal. It's on my heel and it will heal, but yeah, I was thinking about how annoying it is because I now can't go in my wheelchair. So it's a nice day today. We're still stuck inside because of the coronavirus, but we are allowed to go for walks and that type of thing. But no, unfortunately, I have to stay in bed, and I can't even use my computer or do stuff like that because, again, I'm stuck in bed. Luckily, I can use my phone, and as I said before, I've got my camera set up now so I can have a bit of a whinge and tell you guys all about it. I was thinking about other times where my wheelchair is broken down or where I've got a pressure sore and that type of thing, and it doesn't happen too often, but it happens enough that it can be really frustrating. So another example would be the times when I'm driving my wheelchair around and maybe I run over a nail or a piece of glass or something like that and I get a flat tire. So hopefully I realise in time and get home, but sometimes it's gotten flat and I've had to get a taxi or get a family member to come pick me up, and then often repairing the chair can take a bit of time. The tyres, you often have to kind of order them in special, and I don't often have a big stockpile of them lying around, even though I probably should. But so when I'm getting my chair repaired, I need to stay in bed as well. So I do spend a bit of time in bed, not by choice, and some people are often a little bit jealous of the fact that, I might be spending all day in bed. But it is quite frustrating when you can't get up and do things that you wanted to do, can't go outside. You get a little bit sick of your own room. But, that's just the way it is. And I'm pretty lucky in that my wheelchair is normally pretty reliable, and it's normally pretty comfortable. So the pressure sore I have now is due to the fact that the chair is getting a bit old, and the foot plate is getting a bit worn down, and it's not as comfortable as it used to be. So the foam is broken down, and now it's really hurting my foot when I go in the chair. So as soon as I'm able to, I'm going to try and call the wheelchair company and try and get some things fixed. But it might take a bit of time. So depending on how well that goes and how well my heel heals, you might be seeing a bit more of me from this angle in bed. And yeah, hopefully I'll be a bit more cheery. Sorry if I sound a bit grumpy. I'm just a bit frustrating being in bed, but I thought it'd be good to kind of show you a different perspective of things. I've also got a bit of a history of strange injuries. So unlike my pressure sore, when I was 10 years old, I had some surgery on my legs, and that all went fine. That was all good. And I had a big plaster cast on my legs. And again, that was all okay. But somehow I ended up breaking some bones in my leg while I already had the cast on. And that was a bit interesting because I don't know how that happened. And I don't think the doctors really know how that happened either. But I'm pretty talented in that I managed to break some bones while they were already in a plaster cast. So pressure injuries aren't the only history I have of strange injuries. Some people might ask, they might say things like, "Oh, Carl, why did you wait for so long until realizing you were getting a bit of a pressure injury, and then you wouldn't have had to, spend so much time in bed, and, you wouldn't have had to, buy some expensive wound dressings and that type of thing." And I see people's point when they say that. I feel like, yeah, there probably were some self-care activities I should have done to try and prevent this. But it's one of those things where, when you're working pretty much full-time and you're wanting to be out and about and you're wanting to be in your chair and you're not wanting to be in bed resting all the time, it is hard to actually do some of the preventative things. So, I've been told that it would be a good idea for me to spend some time in my chair, then some time in my bed, and then back and forwards throughout the day to try and relieve some of the pressure. But that's not really very practical for me because, once I'm up and I want to stay up and stay doing things. And I don't really want to have support workers come in every few hours just to kind of put me back onto the bed and then go back into the chair again. So all of these things that, even though I know they might be good kind of preventative measures, they really interfere with how I live. And so that's one thing where I feel like it is quite difficult to try and keep on top of all of the self-care activities I need to do while also making sure that I can live, a good life. So it's tricky. The other ironic thing is I actually can't edit this video together until I'm back in my wheelchair and things are at least working a bit better. So if you don't see this video for a few days, it's probably because there were some issues in getting my heel fixed and getting comfortable to get in my chair. But as soon as I'm up and editing this video together, I'll upload it. So we'll see how that goes. But again, I'm not posting this for sympathy or anything like that. I'm just wanting to kind of talk to you and let you know about some of the dramas that happen in my life and the lives of other people with disability. And it's things you might not really think of. And pressure sores are a good example of some injuries that people with disabilities get, you know, and they're not really well known, and it's hard to kind of think of these things if you don't experience them directly. But they're interesting because, you know, we've all got our own kind of unique challenges. Lots of people who walk, you know, get injuries based on, you know, sore feet and shoes that don't fit properly and that type of thing. I don't wear shoes at all, and I still get injuries to my feet. So, yeah, it's just interesting kind of perspective, I think, hopefully. But yeah, I'll come back with more, probably, hopefully more interesting videos next time. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.